Hey guys, I'm Janet on occasion, and today playing another Total War Warhammer II Battle Replay. This one is a community cast sent in by BlackHeart, so thank you BlackHeart. This is an interesting one. He's playing as the Empire, and he's against Tomb Kings. This is a horrible matchup for the Empire, so it's definitely interesting to see, to see how this goes. So as you can see, great cannons. Obviously, good choice. You know, they're going to do a lot of armor piercing, very long range, so you can get some good damage into the constructs early. He's also got some handgunners. Obviously, again, just loads of AP, just crazy amounts of damage, and they're good against constructs. I mean, that's really how you win here. You've got to deal with the constructs. Also, you can see here he's got spearmen with shields to defend them, so some anti-large, but they're cheap and cheerful. They'll do the job. Over here you can see he's got some swordsmen, he's got some halberdiers, obviously anti-large and armor piercing, that's definitely going to help. Some more swordsmen and some flagellants, so interesting. So we'll have a unbreakable front line essentially, and that'll hold off a lot of sort of skeletons or tomb guard or whatever the infantry is, and the halberdiers can get in and fight the constructs, because the thing is, the constructs always penetrate further into a unit. Because they've just got more mass, right? So these guys will be holding the skeletons, right on the edge, and constructs will be halfway in. And the halberdiers will get about halfway in before they, start running into problems. So hopefully, constructs will penetrate this unit, and these guys can start jabbing at them with, point-head sticks, and that'll do a good job. Also, he's got an arch lector. You never see an arch lector, so that's really good fun. Also here, you can see he's got some free company militia. They don't have a lot of AP, but it helps, and the fact is they're going to be alright against some of the frontline units. So it's not too bad. They'll definitely help. It'll have a little bit of extra fire, but also you can have them in the front line if need be, and they will hold things off for a bit. So I think that's pretty interesting. Yep, that's this contingent. And over here you can see he's also got Bright Wizard running around. Not quite sure why he's all the way over here, but that's fine. And also he's got Knights of the Blazing Sun hidden in these trees. And now this is bizarre, because no one ever goes down here, because it's in a swamp. So all of this infantry, of which there is a lot of infantry, is all going to get debuffs for being in the swamp. And that's a bad thing. So it's kind of interesting that he's gone with this, but he does have the terrain advantage here, so he won't be able to get flanked on this side, only on this one. So that's good. And also, if he has to try and flank around this way, look how far he's going to have to go. He's going to go a long way, and the Knights of the Blazing Sun can intercept stuff. So that's interesting. So his opponent, he's got some carrion. Brilliant in this matchup. They can just shut down handgunners and stuff really easily. They're very good. They're just so useful in this matchup, just to shut down basically the only things that can hurt you. So here you can see he's gone with a load of skeleton warriors, so cheapest front line he can have, because they're all saturated with Ushabti. So Ushabti are going to be the ones getting all the killing done, and skeleton warriors are going to take a load of the damage, and also their deaths are going to trigger the Realm of Souls, healing everything up, so that's great. Also you can see he's got a Cambrian War Sphinx, such a danger to the Empire, because just so much armor. He'll basically just trample over everything. Also, you can see here, Arcan the Black, so he's got his death magic, it's going to be very scary. So he can dumpster, whichever unit he wants with Fate of Buna, so that's going to be very scary. Also, with the Tomb Blade, he can heal up everything around him. So, yeah, Arcan's pretty great. Also, he has 2 Necrotects, so he'll be able to heal the crap out of his constructs. And also, he has another construct over here, he has the Sphinx of Usekf. So that's going to be very scary as well. So very good anti-large. He's got, magic damage and fire damage. I mean, that doesn't really help much against the Empire, but he's very formidable. He's going to hit very hard, very scary. So very good for taking out lords. So yeah, it's going to be pretty scary. So let's speed things up. Should have probably sped things up already, truth be told, because they've got a long way to walk. Anyway, so over here, the bog. Right, the bog. That's something I want to talk about, because this is an odd thing to end up having all your units debuffed this way. But it does mean that skeleton warriors are going to be performing horribly. They're going to do so badly, and once you get rid of them, very quickly, then yeah, I think that might actually cause a net benefit for this side, because you get rid of them, and suddenly it's just the constructs, and against just the numbers, you're gonna have your halberdiers in here fighting them, and I don't think the Ushabti are gonna last in that fight, just because they're gonna be fighting so much stuff that's designed for fighting them, and there's gonna be nothing else pulling focus. So skeleton warriors are gonna be they're not gonna last in here, so it's kind of interesting. So here you can see the carrion are starting to probe the back line, so you can see spearmen are here trying to guard, which is a good shout. You definitely don't want these guys getting in doing damage. But one thing I will say is this is not a good plan. Having the great cannons this close together, because they've got a minimum range, if one thing attacks this unit, well, I'm probably going to end up hitting both units with one charge. But also, the other cannon can't then turn around and support the other. So you want these guys spread out. Same with the handgunners. They are too close together. You want these guys spread out. So over here you can see a burning head goes down. So it doesn't really do anything. It only tickles this one. You know, he could have got a lot of damage with it, but this guy was wise to move. But that's blobbed him up and slowed him down. So that's really good. So it means the cannon's going to be able to, fire at these guys for even longer, which is pretty good actually. And you'll see he will actually cast. Oh my god, there he is. So Sphinx of Usekh actually trying to run right around the outside, which I think is a mistake. I think you just want to send all your constructs straight down the middle, smash that front line with one charge, and then carry on into the vital units like the handgunners or the great cannons, whatever. I think that's what you want to do. Keep your forces, close together, because you know you can punch through whatever you like. So here, another burning head straight away. That's because the fire wizard, he's got that, ability of his. It puts down ability recharge rate, so he can use a spell again very quickly. So another burning head very quickly. Again, doesn't do a huge amount of damage, unfortunately. Doesn't really hit much, so that's a pity. So now the handgunners are firing at the Ushabti, and here this is a mistake on the Empire. You really want to get rid of these carrion. He's got cav here, just send the cav straight into them. Wipe out those carrion. These handgunners are one of the most vital units that you can have against Tomb Kings. You've got to keep these guys alive, and letting carrion just attack them in the back like that is not a good idea. Just let the front line suffer a little bit. Don't try and get the rear charges in yet. Just deal with that. You've got to have the handgunners. So here, Sphinx of Usekh slows it down with the Knights of the Blazing Sun, which is a good call. They do actually have, I think they've got fire resist or magic resist, maybe both, I can't remember exactly, but anyway, the Sphinx of Usekh isn't going to do as much damage to them as it otherwise would. So here you can see Kemrian, I was going to say Chimerian, no, Kemrian. The Kemrian War Sphinx, there we go, I got there guys. Restore is being used on it a lot because of the two Necrotechs, which is a great call. And but it's still taking so much damage. The cannons and the handgunners are all shooting at it, but these handgunners are starting to really suffer. You've got to bail out these handgunners. You can't have them being picked off by carrion. But the Kemrian War Sphinx nearly dealt with. Another restore goes down on it. Over on this side, you see the Ushabti have been getting ruined. Thanks to the buffs by the Archlector, all these guys have been performing really well. So that's great. So Skeleton Warriors are breaking here. These guys almost are. Those guys have actually got quite a lot of leadership left, but this Burning Head is going to make sure that they don't. So suddenly, taking a load of damage, and now all those frontline units are crumbling. So I'll accept them, but I think they will crumble now. There we go. So all the Skeleton Warriors are crumbling. 2 units of Ushabti have got wiped out over here, with the Archlector supporting the Halberdiers. And that's pretty great. But here, this is what I'm talking about. Suddenly, the Sphinx of Usekh, he's in here, and now none of these cannons can do anything. Actually, no, those cannons are still firing. They're shooting at something. Anyway, but still, it just shuts down everything. You really want them in support of each other, So, Kemrian War Sphinx still going. He's attacked these handgunners, which is a good call. And now there's 2 units of handgunners that are basically screwed, so they're getting terrified. And that's just bad. So here, Fate of Buna goes down on one of the Knights of Blazing Sun, so they're screwed. That's not good, cool. But yeah, so Bright Wizard, definitely a good pick, because the Necrotect and Arcan are all weak to fire. So here you can see the Liber Mortis goes down, giving everyone some physical resist, which is definitely going to help. Necrotechs are also anti-infantry, I believe. Yes, they are. So they're going to do well in the front line, actually. They're going to be well, they're going to be supporting well. So here, more attacks on the Kemrian War Sphinx. These handgunners, managed to come back, but now there's some summoned Ushabti right on top of them. They are screwed. There's no way they're coming back. Also, these handgunners, they're getting chased off. Amazing, the cannons are still going. These Free Company Militia, they're trying to get some extra damage in. So that's not a bad shout. And here, Flaming Sword of Ruin. So now everything's got fire attacks. Halberdiers with fire attacks against Arcan, who's on a horse. That is not good for Arcan. Arcan is screwed. So he's crumbling now. He's going to get taken out. And that was a real mistake on the Tomb King's play. You don't want Arcan in this kind of engagement. You don't want him just sat, bogged down by all this stuff. That is not a good call. I mean, you do need him in combat to replenish his Tomb Blade. But frankly, if that's the case, you want your constructs, around him, beating this stuff up. So, he's not taking all the damage, and you can rout these guys and terrify them more. And then you can use the Tomb Blade to heal up everything in here. So here, just one final use of Spirit Leech to try and do something before Arcan dies. So, well played there. But here, once again, the Sphinx of Usekh, he's just running around focusing on these handgunners, but the handgunners are already pretty damaged, and now there's cannons shooting at him. You want to shut down these cannons. I'm not even sure what happened to the Carrion, but the Carrion would have been very useful for dealing with these cannons, I think. So here, the Summoned Ushabti, they're going for the Great Cannons. Good call. But, you know, they're being chased by the Knights of the Blazing Sun. They're going to slow them down a bit. And they are summoned, so they're going to be losing health as it goes. So all you need to do is really slow them down and avoid them getting onto good targets. But suddenly all those, you know, all the stuff at the front line is dealt with, which is pretty impressive. So now all focus is on the Sphinx of Usek. These guys will be dead soon. So he's charging into the cannons. You know, free company on either side firing at him. They don't have the best AP, but they'll help. You know, they'll help while the guy's bogged down with things. Because he can't be everywhere at once. And, you know, any splash attacks aren't really going to help him much if he's not really engaged by much, you know. Really, he's an anti-large guy. You want him fighting things like the Archlector, but bogged down by all this and under constant fire, he can't really afford to duel. But now he is leaving the cannons alone. Another thing with microing the cannons, in this kind of scenario, where, you know, one of these cannons, I think, okay, there's still some cannons left, but I think the crew have been shattered. I don't see them anywhere. You can just run them away. Just tell them to leave their cannons and run, you know, and then you can just throw halberdiers or whatever at them. Just keep running, you know, run towards safety. I mean, there's nothing else threatening, so just run them towards halberdiers. So he has to run into halberdiers if he wants to get the cannon crew. And then, when he retreats from the halberdiers, you can run back onto the cannons and start shooting him again. So, obviously he doesn't really need to do that at this point, because, well, I mean, look at this. He just has so much left over. But that's something you really want to be careful of. Keep your cannons split up, keep your handgunners split up, make sure that your handgunners are safe, right? When you've got cavalry, when you've got that maneuverability, you just want to wipe out the carrion as quickly as possible. Just take them out, and then you don't have to worry, you know? Then your handgunners are basically safe. You'll be able to spot, you know, a big construct coming, and you can get them caught in the crossfire, because you'll have one handgunner over here being attacked, and then you'll have a couple of cannons spread out, and you'll have more handgunners somewhere in the middle. You can just shoot at it with everything. That's kind of what you want to do. You don't want to have stuff clumped up too much, especially when it's handgunners and cannons against the Tomb Kings, because they are priority number one. You don't want to let them catch more than one unit out at a time, because that's just super damaging. But it worked out great, you know, in this one. Yeah, I think the DOG here, he made a couple of mistakes, I think, with prioritizing units. But it was amazing how quickly some of his units were taking damage in the front line. I don't think he expected that. So fair play, because I didn't, honestly. I mean, there's, you know, still, you know, cannons, handgunners, sure, they'll do a lot of damage, but I mean, these guys are so robust. These constructs have got huge health pools. They can get a lot of work done. But this just worked out great. So, you know, using the terrain, I mean, that really slowed down the Sphinx of Usek. Trying to get that flank in, I think, was just really costly. You wanted him to just charge into the front line, probably get him just to focus on the Archlector, and have the Cambrian War Sphinx running around in the back, you know, disrupting stuff, along with the Carrion, you know, sort of hitting things where it can, and retreating if need be, you know. Don't need to keep it in combat, you just need to keep hitting things, stop them from firing. The Ushabti summon as well, on top of the handgunners, great move. You really want to shut them down. But yeah, I don't know, there were a few little mistakes there, I think, but using the terrain, I think, was really cool. But I still can't work out whether the bog was a hindrance or not. It dealt with the skeleton warriors super quick, so it gave, you know, the front line a lot of respite. So all this stuff that's supposed to be anti-large wasn't really having to struggle too much against the skeletons, because, yeah, the spells were doing the damage to them, so these guys didn't have to. But it kept them alive for longer, because, you know, the debuffs. So it's a weird one. It's a very strange one. So, yeah, I'm not sure how to test that out, but, I mean, you know, anecdotally, that seemed to work, which is kind of surprising. So, kind of cool. So anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this, please do comment, like, and subscribe. And if you have a replay that you want me to cast, then, yeah, send it to me. So you can send that either, if you can find me on Discord, just send it to me on Discord. Otherwise, send me an email with the replay attached. So it'll be JanetOnOccasion@gmail.com. And just, you know, subject replay or something, whatever, just so I know what it is. And yeah, give me a short description of the replay or replays, so that way I know what your thoughts were, you know, when you were doing it, because I want to, you know, I want to be able to sort of stress what your tactics were. If you did anything a little kooky, you know, I might not notice it just by looking at the replay, what your idea was. So just let me know what it is, and I'll be sure to mention it. So guys, like I said, comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.